And we're back. We are here with Kevin and James.
What's up, man?
The hosts of Hero Talk. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Feeling good. Life's decent, you know. Making the best out of it during this pandemic. What can you do?
Love that. Love
doing
that.
good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. So you guys host Hero Talk. For those listening at home, do you want to give like a little rundown of what exactly Hero Talk is?
Want to go, James?
Yeah, I'll take this away. Hero Talk is essentially two great friends for 16 years. They can get his driver's license. Talk about the things that we are passionate about. Talk about comics, games, and anime, things of that nature. Anything of the genre nature we talk about and we love, and we talk about it with passion. And we want everyone to come and enjoy this ride with us. That's what Hero Talk is.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to being enlightened
Cool.
because I've dipped my toes very lightly. I've always read, but I've never been like into comics or
Okay,
like.
cool.
Yes.
I read. You might be able to see behind you Dragon Ball. I just recently bought the original Dragon Ball manga or manga.
Right.
You wanna.
Either way.
Yeah, either way. I don't know how to say it right either. No, you're good, bro.
But yeah, it's kind of. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it's kind of an intimidating thing to get into.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, yeah,
100%.
100%. It's like comics and anime. Like it's just been going on for so long. For someone who wants to get into it, it's kind of hard to find your way into where you jump into this train that's been going for like forever, basically. You know.
Pretty much. My advice is to find a character you like and just find a good story, and then that'll just literally you'll find your way through. Just find one character with one story you'll relate to, and then it'll just be pretty easy to find your way through that. But as long as you have your favorite character, it's pretty easy.
Okay, so how did you guys get started? How did did you walk into a comic store and you're like, oh, this is cool, I'm gonna buy one, and just
No, not at all.
What was the beginning?
The beginning started a lot later for me. Probably, to be honest though, when I tore my hamstring, I had a lot of downtime, and I tore my hand. I was playing 16-inch softball, and I went for a ball, and it just snapped. So I had a lot of downtime, and I'm used to being like a faster player. So I was obviously attracted to the Flash. So
sure.
So on my downtime, naturally, right? So in my downtime, I had like I said, I'm naturally, I like the Flash. I was a faster player, so, I started reading a little bit of his stories. Flash Rebirth is a great place to start. I'll just say right there.
Okay.
Really good story. I think it's by Jeff Johns. I highly, highly recommend it. Really good. But, yeah, that's really how I got started. Is my injury led me to just having some more downtime, and I related to a character that was fast, and since I couldn't move at the moment, I was like, man, I wish I could, I wish I could be like him. So yeah, that's really how it started for me.
That's
and I think
awesome.
It's a lot different for James though.
Yeah.
For me, it goes back. Honestly, for me, it goes back to before me. My dad, I would say his childhood wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. So his escape was to lift weights and read comics. So that was his escape out of his reality, as you could say. And then I was born, and in 2009, I want to say I found his Death of Superman comic in one of his trunks with all this artwork and stuff. Just like, what is this? And I picked it up, started reading it or whatever. And I was like,
that's your origin story.
Yo, this
found
is
the trunk.
dope. Yeah. This is dope. This shit is crazy. And then I found a bunch of his artwork of the Ninja Turtles and characters of that, like Wolverine, some of his favorite characters that eventually became my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Because you're very impressionable as a kid, you know?
Sure.
But my journey into anime, that started, it was more organically, I guess, because you guys all seen Adult Swim, back in the day. You had
Toonami.
Yeah, Toonami.
Was the GOAT.
I would just stay up late, maybe second grade, I believe it was, and there was a show called Trigon and Inuyasha, and they would come on back to back, and I would stay up till 12 o'clock at night because I just happened to see them one night.
As an 8-year-old,
sure.
These are dope. I have to see these every day. I don't care if I'm tired in the morning. I got to see them. So that was my entry into anime, into comics.
but just like same thing. Toonami, Dragon Ball Z at night, so same thing.
So how long ago was that? How long would you say you guys have been this is a significant part of what you're interested in?
When I had my injury, that's when I realized it was something I got into.
That
was so I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm 26 now, almost 27.
Okay.
So it's been 8 years or so, 7 years. Yeah.
Wow. And you were a kid when you...
just a kid, second grade. So however you old were in second grade, I was in it from the jump.
That is dope. And I heard you. So when my favorite superhero, and I feel like I'm intimidated right now because I feel like talking to you guys who are so well versed in this stuff that like I'm gonna say something and be like, oh, you like this guy?
It's never that. It's never that.
I will say that some of the comic book community can be toxic. So I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. It can be intimidating.
It's but my favorite is Green Arrow.
Sweet.
Arrow is,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's got some cool stories.
I like
yes, but I never like so I've gone like online and like okay I want to read like. In my head, it should just be like, oh, let me buy the one Green Arrow story.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, well, what what universe do you want it to be in?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So how do you just pick one? Or, like, can you guys tell me how to, like, if I want to go and look up Green Arrow, like, what would you suggest I do if I want to start reading them?
My suggestion is normally, if you would ask me, like, a month ago, I would say get the free trial for the DC Universe app.
Okay.
And then you get 7 free days, and then it's unlimited comics from everything present up to 1 year. So like it takes a year for the new comics to come in. So, but you can literally jump in anywhere. They have a bunch of different sections, and you can literally pick a character. It'll have all his major storylines, everything right there, and then you can just boom find a great story, and then that'll just like I said earlier, you'll just find the other stories from there. Mm-hmm. But DC Universe app might not stick around for as long as I thought it would.
Really?
So yeah, so that's probably probably not the best way. I mean, it's still around right now, so you could probably still find a way for a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, that would be my advice. Other than that, you can go on the other app called Comixology.
Yeah,
I think I have that.
Okay, cool.
That's the app
yeah.
I prefer. I prefer Comixology. It's only reason why is because it puts. I don't really like buying single issues because if I'm reading a comic, I'm trying to read more than 24 pages. Like I'm trying to sit there for a little bit. And so like they have a graphic novel section where it's like the whole entire run they put for you. You get it for a higher price because it's all the issues. But that's more my speed.
A run is like a full
complete,
story.
An arc of a story, and they'll compile like 12, 24, like 100 issues or whatever it is.
Wow.
Like not necessarily 100, but they'll compile like whatever the arc is into just one story, so it's like an actual book.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if like when like the Watchmen comic book, like it's an actual novel.
Sure, right. That's 12 issues. I was actually just looking at that the other day.
Yeah, it's a good amount of issues. Yeah. So it's a good amount of issues, so they compile it into a book, and that's technically what I prefer too.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. See, this I don't know. Like, do you know why they did that? Oh well, I mean, it's because they were releasing them like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never partial to buying like a comic book issue every week. Like it gets kind of redundant, almost. I like to just get the book by itself. So that's probably why they do it, just because you could buy the whole chunk. Some people don't like to. Like, for example, like you're saying, it's a little intimidating to go into, find out what part you have to jump into. Right. That'll give you a good, like, one of the best stories. Obviously, that's why they made it into a book, because people are looking for that story. It's by their better writers and producers, so they bring it out, and then they'll give it to you that way.
Do you guys have writers that you're like, oh, this guy's about to come out with something, like, that means I need to read it?
John Aaron is my boy.
What is like and I know, don't certain writers work with certain illustrators too? Like
there's
like I
combos.
favorite illustrators. So like Jim Lee's the GOAT. So
Facts.
Why?
He's the GOAT.
His art style.
He's the GOAT, bro.
He
MJ, bro. No competition, bro.
It's just the way his art style is. It's just one of a kind. Like there's nothing like it.
I can guarantee you've seen one of it and you're like, oh, that's like that one looks fire.
It's
like,
just so.
Yeah, it's very recognizable. It's very clean.
Yes.
It's not. It like brings it like very humanizing almost.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I really like it. Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, because like you see a comic book and it's like, oh, that's not like reading, but it's like almost a different kind of reading.
Yeah.
It's
like,
a different
you
medium.
You spend like how long you spend on a page? Like you could speed read it in
15
seconds if you want, but you're like. You want to like look at it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It really depends on how you want to experience it. To be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. What so what's your favorite like run? What couple of your guys like favorite of all time? Actually, let's do this.
Question.
Let's simplify it. Who's your guys' favorite? Do you have a favorite superhero?
Well, I have like a top I have like a top three.
Okay.
I have like a top three. So.
That's tough for me. I hate doing these type of things.
These are the burning questions.
Yes, okay.
I'm very partial to DC characters over Marvel characters, but I like both. I just prefer to read DC like stories.
Why is that?
They tend to have better iconic storylines.
Okay.
Just tend to, but
That
it's
is
really
true.
up to your preference.
That is true.
But so I tend to like read more DC comics.
Not to say that Marvel comics don't have iconic runs. It's just DC. I feel like they have bigger events. An event is when
True.
like multiple comics from different characters lead up
Sure.
to kind
Hell
of like the
yeah.
Avengers and MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, they do that in
exactly.
comics a lot, and
We all
DC does
love
that.
that.
Yeah,
All the time.
DC
Yeah.
does that way more often than Marvel does. But
So,
yeah.
but if I
That's
had to go
super
with
cool.
top characters, I would definitely say, obviously, like the Flash is one of my favorite. Batman is one of my favorite, and damn. So Batman, Flash, and I would probably go at this moment, like today. You could ask me tomorrow, it might be different, but probably be Red Hood. That's my homie.
Red Hood.
That's
I
the
don't think I
homie
know who
loves
Red
that.
Hood is.
So he's. You remember? Did you watch Batman v Superman?
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember?
Yes.
Remember when Bruce Wayne is in the Batcave and he sees like the dead Robin suit?
Yes.
So in the comics, it's a different Robin, but the Joker kills the Robin, and then he eventually comes back like years later.
We got to give the reason though. The reason they killed off Jason Todd, like I don't even know what era is he from? Like what years? I don't
70s,
70s or something like
70s
that.
or 80s,
He
yeah.
was the second Robin. Everyone loves
Everyone loves the first one.
yeah,
he was in
Dick Grayson.
Dick
I'm
Grayson.
just blanking right now. Everyone loves him. He's
Yeah.
great. Nightwing, awesome, cool. They brought out this second Robin. Everyone hated this
Yeah.
guy.
he was kind of a dick.
Everyone hated him. He was
He was kind of a dick.
yeah, he was
Oh,
a dick,
okay.
and
Yeah.
he was
He was a-
really arrogant. Kind of thought he was hot shit, always showboating. People
He
were
would
like,
kinda-
who is this guy? Like, why is he doing this? This isn't Robin. So what DC did was they put out a poll, and like you could
They
mail it
literally
in.
asked
Yeah.
the fans, like,
Yeah.
should we
Like, if
kill
you-
him
Wow.
or not?
Yeah.
And the fans voted, and they were like, you know what, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Like they're like, nah, we're not rolling.
Mark this dude.
Literally. So in the next couple issues, Joker literally with the crowbat just beat him down.
Oh
just
my
literally,
God.
with
Yeah.
you saw the blood flying, and you saw Joker's face getting filled with blood after
Yeah.
each panel, and
Yeah.
it was gruesome.
Yeah, it was messed up. They did him bogus, bro. They did him bogus.
Oh my God.
He eventually came back. They wrote him back into the main storyline, and he came back as the Red Hood. And him and Batman had a little tiff because Batman was like, "Who's this guy just killing people?"
So now he's
in
like
my
a
neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
yeah, exactly. He's more of a an anti-hero now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't like lock people up. He'll just shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling with that. That's cool.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
we're,
cool.
we're here for
He's
it.
he's like a less severe Punisher, is what I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to say
Okay.
it. Yeah, he likes to shoot like murderers and rapists and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
cool. Like that's
We-
cool.
Get
with
him
me.
out of
We're
here.
all
We don't
about
need him.
that.
We don't need him. Get him out of
Yes,
here.
yeah.
Whereas like Batman, you're like, dude, you should have killed him. Like at this point, like come on, dude. Like the Joker's, Jason, nah. It's like no games, no games.
yeah,
man.
let's just murk him.
Yep.
So you got Batman, Flash, Red Hood.
Today. That's
Today.
today's. Yes, today's.
What about you, James, for
Okay,
today?
right now, because Immortal Hulk run that's going on right now is just so fantastic. It's definitely going to go down in history as one of those runs everyone
Ooh.
needs to read. It is fire. So Hulk is there.
You've always liked the Hulk though. He's always been in your top
Facts.
three. So
that's true. But like right now, they're on fire. Okay,
so he's
they're on
number
fire.
one right now.
They're
Okay.
on fire. Okay, so Hulk would be one. Probably. This is so hard. I would have to put Wally West Flash because he's just so swaggy.
Facts.
So much drip, bro.
Facts.
So much drip.
They
Yes.
really didn't have to do him like that, and he came back. He also came back from like the
Being dead, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
And he came back even better. Like he's
Yeah.
back and he's better, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
Basically. So it would be Hulk, Flash, and probably I'm gonna cheat and give you Batman and Superman because their chemistry together, whenever they're together, it's
it's fire.
their relationship is something special. Like I don't know how to describe it. They're like they are my favorite bromance throughout all comic books.
I love that.
Throughout all
I've
comic
never
books.
heard that
Them two
before.
together,
Yes.
it's just their chemistry is just top notch. It's great.
It's like good cop, bad cop, but you understand both point of views so
Yeah.
well. I don't, it's great, dude. It's
That's
great. You got to
legit.
just
And listening to their a juxtaposition on like different topics and like they both sound right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they both have
Yes.
great arguments. So
That
when
is
you're reading,
wild.
you're just like, I don't know.
and they
It's
got
just
kids
awesome.
now, so like
Who does?
Oh,
they both do.
Yeah.
Superman
Really?
and Bat- they
Superman
both
and
got
Batman.
kids. Yeah,
See,
dude. Both of
I'm
them are
late.
badasses too. They're both dope. They dope.
Yeah, Super
bro.
Sons. That's another one that I really love.
Yeah, you guys
Super
should check that
Sons,
one
yeah,
out. That's
it's-
dope.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's another thing about this whole like industry is like there's
So
18
much.
different versions of
Yes.
Batman.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
Yeah, it's a little aggressive. And see, they tried to rectify that. They tried to fix it for the new fans that like wanted to come in and have like a fresh start point.
Sure.
And it came with it was called the New 52. Didn't end well.
why is that?
Just wasn't accepted by fans. It was
Yeah.
just like DC adjacent. It was just like they just
Sure.
kind of changed a lot of different things, and it
was it wasn't all bad. There was
right.
and it just the good just got swept in with all the negativity from the
Facts. That's
backlash.
true. That's
there
true.
were
Sure.
some storylines that were actually pretty good, but it just didn't do well because of the
Like the Dark Side
overwhelming-
storyline, the
Yes,
Dark Side run.
yes.
That shit was like
Some
that
of
was
the
really
Aquaman
good.
stuff was really great.
It was
Aquaman.
Yeah, the
That
Aquaman was
is-
really good.
Did you guys? So, all right. Now, what about these movies? What do we think about these Marvel and DC movies?
They fire. I love them.
Yeah,
Both of them?
most of them. I
Most
love
of them. There
yeah.
are. I think Marvel gets away with too much. Like they get away with being Marvel and being like the cool one, and so
Yes.
like people just like dismiss their flaws. But they have flaws, but for the most part, they're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like the Batman versus Superman movie?
It's probably one of my favorites.
The
Really?
extended cut. The extended
It's
cut.
probably
Now
one of my
let's get it right.
See, I need to rewatch that. one.
There's the one that came out in the theaters, the theatrical. It sucks. It's literally sucks.
Yeah,
No, it
it's-
doesn't suck. It just you miss out on so much
And it's
information.
crazy because the
Crucial
ultimate
information.
cut is only like 30 minutes longer,
30.
and 30 minutes makes a huge
Yes.
difference in like the way they told the story. Because the theatrical cut was very choppy. They switched scenes around, and it really was disjointed. It
It
didn't make any
seemed
sense.
rushed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they just wanted to cut it down. They wanted to cut down on
Okay.
time.
The
Essentially,
extra
to get-
30 minutes
Yeah.
answers all of your questions.
Love
Literally,
that.
you're like, oh.
I was like, why
okay.
didn't I like that? This dude just said it's one of his favorite movies. And
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, oh, it was good.
Watch the theatrical cut and you get a
I'm-
better experience.
No, you mean
Okay.
extended cut. You said theatrical.
Oh
'Cause-
yeah, I lied. Yeah, extended cut. Sorry.
Because DC movies, am I wrong in saying they get like a lot of hate compared
Yeah,
to
they get a
Marvel
lot of hate.
movies?
Yes,
What,
yes.
like they're
Disney.
just less popular? Is it just?
I think
It's-
Disney has a lot of persuasion
Disney-
on some of the critics. I think that's just part of it. It's not like obviously not the whole thing. I think that's part of it. They get, partial. They're savvy
Sure.
towards them. But other than that,
I heard it put this way, and I was like, I couldn't disagree. Marvel is like pop music, and what everyone wants is pop music, and DC is like rock and roll, and no one's really tried to listen to that at the moment.
Sure.
That
Wow.
makes sense. Okay, cool. I see what you're saying.
Is one like more true to the comics?
And yes and no, like they both companies are true-ish
Okay.
Yeah.
to what's really going on in the
But
comics.
they can't
so.
like copy and paste what
yeah,
they
because
have.
not everything
they-
translates
exactly.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Example: Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is a comic book movie, but like
The
I
last
said,
15 minutes would literally be perfect in a comic
in
book.
a comic book, like
In a movie,
yeah,
it's just like
yeah,
you're
a
like
lot of that stuff in the
Yeah.
movie did not work. I
Yeah.
was like, I see what you try to do there, but yeah, I mean, it's like
So
rough.
or like I was watching Batman for Forever. No, Batman and Robin. I was watching that last
Oh,
night.
the old school.
And yes, and the first one of the first scene is when Arnold Schwarzenegger he comes out with his
The
freeze
cold
gun,
gun,
Mr.
yeah,
Freeze.
freeze gun.
Oh, okay.
And he has a squad of goons coming around in like full out gear and like they're ice skating and
yeah,
stuff.
they're
And I'm
ice
like,
skating.
one, like that wouldn't fly nowadays. And
Yeah.
then two, they zoom in on Batman and Robin's boots and they just automatically have
Spring.
they have like
Spring
they have
ice
ice skates
skates.
all of a sudden. On a comic book, that
Go,
would
go,
be
gadget
dope.
skates.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
On a comic book, that's pretty dope. But
Yeah.
in real life, like, all right, that's just not
Shit,
practical.
even today in a comic book that wouldn't fly really.
Right.
They just it's too nowadays comic books they're more grounded in realism as much as they can be. But like back in the day, they had wild, goofy stuff back in them joints.
When you
true.
say wouldn't fly, is that just like people are pissed about it?
Yeah,
like,
they wouldn't accept.
I
it. It wouldn't
mean,
be accepted.
comic book fandom is very
Fickle.
loud.
Yeah, loud and fickle.
Yeah, we're really loud. So
yes, I feel like everyone's got a very strong opinion on.
we'll let you know what we don't
Exactly.
like. Yep.
And where is that like located? Where is this like a Reddit thing? Like, are you guys on like
Twitter.
on Twitter?
Twitter, YouTube,
Twitter,
Reddit, yeah.
everywhere.
Okay.
Literally. Yeah, there's Facebook.
Kind of
groups
how like
for
there's like
everything.
hip hop Twitter, there's film Twitter, there's comic book Twitter. You know?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Sure.
So.
Have you guys ever done the like the Comic-Con thing?
Oh yeah, we did
not like the big one, not the
Not
one
in
in
San
LA.
Diego.
Yeah, not
not
the
that
one,
one.
yeah.
But we did the one in Chicago
Yeah,
this
C2E2.
past year. and
Oh,
the year
yeah,
before
okay.
that.
They went to that.
That
It
one
was
was
pretty
really
dope.
fun.
How's that?
That was dope.
What do you? It's just like people.
So I actually was really I was always interested. I thought it was like my vibe. I'm like that's dope. Like just people going. There's a lot of art there. There's a lot of people dressing up as cosplay. There's people selling different comic books, different comic book brands.
Comic artists are there. Comic writers
That's
are
our
there.
favorite part, the artists. But I was trying. Like I went to the one in Seattle. It's called Emerald City Comic Con, and I took my girlfriend and we went to Seattle because she wanted the pop figures. She collects the pop figures. She loves them. I do too.
Sure.
They're pretty dope.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they're pretty dope. Yeah, I got them. And so we went there because in Seattle is their headquarters. So we went to the Comic-Con and then like we went to the headquarters of Funko so that we could check it out.
Nice.
And I really, really enjoyed it. I had a great time. Like the artwork, like James was saying, and all the just the atmosphere was just right up my alley. So I told James, I'm like, James, look, we got to go to the one in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, you would love it. Like this is right up our alley. The atmosphere is us. And he was like, nah, like I'm not good. Like,
I'm good.
nah, I don't like people. I don't want to go out. And I'm like, dude, you know what?
My exact reaction.
And
My exact reaction.
That's what I'm saying. And so I was luckily in one of my comic book groups. Actually, it was in the Funko group I'm in on Facebook. Some random person had 15 extra like discount codes, and it gave me 100% off on 3 tickets to go to C2E2. So I got one for myself, one for my girlfriend, and one for James. I'm like, look, I just got it for free. There's no way you're not going now.
No excuse.
He's like, you bought me a ticket. He's like, oh, I'm upset. He's like, I don't like now I gotta pay you back.
Getting gifts, man.
And I'm like, it's free, bro. So we gotta go. And then after we went, James was like, thank you. Like,
I was like, this is awesome. The greatest thing ever.
So
I have something that you know Alex Cheatham, obviously.
Yes. Yep.
He's a big Hulk guy. He is wait, what?
I love Al. He is the biggest fanboy I've ever met in my entire life. There is zero logic. I'm just like, and he's like, no. It's all right.
I have had
yes, dude. Yes.
I have had 40-minute car rides with this dude where he's just explaining to me how Hulk is the most powerful being on Earth.
This man loves Hulk. I'm just like, yeah, I love him too. He's dope, but like, relax.
So there was this thing on Twitter. I'm gonna try to pull it up, but it was like you got a certain amount of money, and then it had like all of like, it was all Marvel people. I'm gonna try to pull it up. I think I can find it, but we were all arguing over like what heroes to use. I don't watch. I'm not gonna be able to do this. But basically, it was like you get $15,
and you
like
gotta build your
Thor
own
is
team.
$5, Hulk is $5.
Okay, and
like,
you gotta build your team.
and you gotta
for that.
build your team.
Yeah,
but
okay, I've seen those.
their logic was like the big like Al bought like Hulk and Thor and like Doctor Strange and like one other $1 person. I bought like 5 $1 people. I need to find this. I will find it.
You know what? Doctor Strange underrated.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
He might take over the whole team.
I'm
bro.
rolling with Al's picks. Those were some solid picks. Those were some solid picks. I need.
Gang signs.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yo, Doctor Strange underrated, bro. He might take
Dude,
out the whole squad.
He's strong.
Yeah.
She's just unfair. She's
she
a
was
cheat
on
code.
there too.
I am a huge Scarlet Witch fan, and
She's a cheat code.
I think she could beat Strange. I'm probably wrong because I was a fanboy for Hulk. Scarlet Witch is my girl. I fucks with her, man. House of M changed everything, and House of M. To explain it, I don't know what was happening. I think the mutants were getting murdered, or it was like X-Men versus mutants, or something like that. Essentially, she said no more mutants and like erased a bunch of time, rewrote all of history where there were no mutants, and the only mutants that were left were on her father's island. Her father is Magneto. And they were just out there in the middle of the ocean with their own ruling kingdom and stuff. It was crazy.
That's legit.
So break that down. Magneto's daughter said 3 words.
Wait, is that the girl that controls
Scarlet
the
Witch.
animals?
Scarlet Witch. Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
What was? I just watched an X-Men movie where his Magneto's daughter dies.
That
was
was
in,
Apocalypse?
Yes, that was it.
That was Apocalypse.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, that movie was not that great, but
It really wasn't.
All right,
but okay.
sorry, not to confuse anybody.
Oh yeah, but Magneto's daughter said 3 words, no more mutants, and literally destroyed history and got rid of genocide, basically.
Yeah.
And
With
that's
magical
her
genocide.
That's her power. She just
She can do whatever the hell she wants. She
yeah,
is a
it's-
cheat code. She is
it's
Michael
like-
Vick in 2006, like Madden. She is like you can't beat her.
Yeah,
I think
right.
she messes with chance. I think she is a reality warper.
a reality warper.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Those honestly, like, strength is cool. People who warp reality are top tier in
Hell
like
yeah.
the comic book thing. That reality warping and like telepaths, crazy. They're OP.
OP.
Overpowered is what OP means.
Yes. Do you think Hulk? Now back to Hulk because I'm thinking of Al now. Do you think Hulk was done super dirty? in
1,000,000,000%.
Thank
bro.
you. Okay.
So as a, I know James is gonna kill me. But as a casual fan, I can kind of see where they were going. Like, I see their thought process, but it just as a comic book fan,
Hulk
it
is strongest
enrages
there
me.
is.
Yes. See,
Strongest there is. Not my arm gets put in a sling because
Like-
they're using Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, no,
yeah, that's
no.
yeah.
No,
It's-
like
like,
him getting
even
beat up by
them-
Thanos, cool. I get it, that does happen, but come on, get him some redemption.
yeah.
Damn it,
Because Al was explaining, he's like, "Well, he's Professor Hulk now." I'm like, "Who's Professor Hulk?" We want smashing Hulk.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to defend their decisions, but I do like Mark Ruffalo. That's about it.
I actually never saw the Edward Norton Hulk.
It's so underrated. It's so fire.
Yo,
I've
that's
never
cat,
seen-
bro. That's cat.
Yeah,
Fire.
Yeah.
I need
Not
to-
gonna lie, that movie gets a lot of shit solely because it's
Not in the
technically
MCU,
not
right?
MCU. Like
Right.
it kind of is, but it isn't at the same time.
Was that Sony? Who made that?
Universal.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
oh yeah, they own the rights to him. I
yeah,
forgot.
it's so good. It's a really good one. He's underrated. That is like the Hulk. If you're looking for like a crazy Hulk smash, that is the one you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
good. The final
Down.
battle in that was pretty
They
decent
throw
too.
down.
Who does he
Yeah.
fight in that?
Abomination.
Yep.
See, so much to know. There's just
Two
so much to know. So what do you guys think have you guys seen these like Netflix is doing these TV shows for Marvel and stuff?
Yeah, those are
Do
pretty
you
decent.
guys think that there's gonna I was thinking about it the other day. Do you think people are gonna keep reading comic books, or is it just gonna become like
So-
TV and film and all this other?
That's a good point you bring up because DC just had a bloodbath
Really?
this week. Yeah, so they cut a lot of everything.
Or to clarify, it was so DC is owned by Warner
Warner.
Brothers and like Warner Media and AT&T is like
Sure.
the big like AT&T's at the top.
AT&T bought Warner
Yeah.
Brothers, Warner Media, or
Okay.
Warner Brothers, or whatever. So
I did
they're
not
like
know that.
on top.
And they just I don't know. I'm still confused on what happened. I don't understand why they fired. Like a lot of people just got laid off. Like they just started sending out let go.
Pink slips.
Like
It's
illustrators
there you go.
and,
It's
like-
like, yep, they let go of
illustrators,
like,
producers,
like-
writers, like everyone. Like
it was
For
a
the comic
bloodbath.
like-
The comic,
Yeah.
they're still gonna make comics like here on out, but there's not gonna be many printed comics. It's all gonna go to digital,
Right.
which is
that's the future, but like I still like physical media. I still
Absolutely.
buy Blu-rays. I started to watch Guardians of the Galaxy on Disney Plus the other day. Turned it off because it did not look as good as my Blu-ray. I was
facts.
like, this space
That's-
is not hitting like it's
that's true.
supposed to be,
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
What
Or in
is this?
Aquaman 2, Aquaman's special effects and like their visuals are top tier. And when you watch it on like HBO Max or on whatever streaming service, it just doesn't hit the same.
Really?
Yeah.
just
I did
doubled
not
a
even
little
know
bit,
that.
Yeah.
You like you do have to look at it, but like you can tell. Like if you put them
Yeah.
side by side, you can tell right away. It's like
Drastic difference.
there's a drastic difference. But
That
I
is
guess if
very
you're just
interesting.
casually watching, you can't really see.
Sure.
But yeah, there is a difference.
Wow. Yeah, because like I said, I bought Dragon Ball. I like having it. I
Same.
like
Yeah,
having like
same.
an object that I can be
Yeah.
like, oh, this is it. I read this. Like I don't know.
Same.
It's
I'm
like
the same way. I've always
something about the screen. It's like this isn't the same.
But it is a different experience because sometimes I do like, for example, I forgot what book. I think I was reading the Long Halloween, and it's a Batman comic, and I was reading
Nice.
that on my phone versus like how I normally read it
Yeah.
on the book, and it kind of hit different on the phone because there's a lot of dark panels, and each
Okay.
panel it
on the
was kind
phone,
of like
yeah,
a movie.
it's like a walking movie.
Yeah, it's like a walking
on the
movie. You
phone
go-
or on a tablet. It's like scene by scene what's going
Yeah.
on. So
Oh, you go
yeah,
like
so you don't just look at the
Yeah.
whole screen; you go
Yeah.
by frame. So like the way that they
So
can
you-
like,
yeah.
it is really cool. Like
Yeah.
the way that they can make
So
it
you're
with
just
some.
tapping.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't know.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
like a page, you can just pretty much see what everything's gonna happen. With the tapping, you're just like, oh, I did not see that coming.
Right,
That's crazy.
exactly. And like
Yes.
you think it's, you like they'll dupe you. Like you'll think like you'll have a pattern, and you're like, okay, and like like what the hell?
That is wild.
You know, so I really like, for example, one of my favorite examples of that is in Red Hood and the Outlaws. You guys should really check that out. Such a good comics storyline. Red Hood and the Outlaws, obviously, is my boy, but they kind of mimicked what's that book of Mice and Men?
Mice and Men.
Oh, sure.
Ten the Rabbits.
You know, 10 the Rabbits.
Yeah,
and, you know,
yeah.
so you know how like at the very end he's like, you're gonna go 10 the rabbits, and then he shoots them.
Yep.
They do exactly that, and they end up not shooting him. So it primed me, because in my mind I was thinking, I'm like, no. I literally texted James. I screenshotted the thing. I was like, they cannot do my boy like this. I'm like, no, they're not gonna do my boy.
I got it on my phone like, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
Very next panel, they're just like, they're just chilling right next to him. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, they didn't do my boy. So yeah, it is a different experience.
Yeah.
But I do like to have, like you said, the physical copy.
Because like we said with Blu-rays, it's cleaner.
Yeah.
It looks better.
Yeah.
True.
Do you guys collect at all? Like, do you like?
I collect my favorite graphic novels.
What's the extent of your collection? How long have you been?
I have like since I was about 19. That's when my first one I bought was a Flash Rebirth one, because I was like, I didn't have like DC Universe app back then,
Sure.
so I was just like, let me go on Amazon. I literally Googled top 10 Flash stories, and I saw Rebirth, and I was like, okay, let me get it. And so I have now, I think 22, 25,
Damn.
which is not that much, but a good amount.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty shitty. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. What I did when I was younger, instead of buying comics, I was a little hoodlum and went to sites and stole them. Stole the panels off the internet. Gave my computer all types of viruses.
Yeah,
It's
right.
fine. I got the stories.
Where did you even do that? What was the LimeWire for comics?
To tell you the truth, it was so long ago I couldn't even tell you. I
Yeah,
don't remember
right.
the website, what it was called, but yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, but now I'm such a terrible comic fan. Like, I always preach, support your local comic book store. You got to go there and get comics. I never do that.
Right,
I never.
right.
I'm lazy. I'm in bed. I'm like, I want to read something. I'm going to pull up my phone. Like,
Right,
I don't
'cause
feel like leaving
it's
the
so
house.
easy. I remember I was like just looking at one night. I was like, I'm gonna try to read a comic tonight. Went on Comixology. Hey, start a free trial, and there's literally like any comic you want to read.
Infinity.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah. So, and it's hard to beat, because like even with Comixology or that the DC Universe app I was telling you about. Let's say like I pay like $7.99 or something like that for the DC app. If I were to go to the store, I'm paying $20 for a book.
Sure.
I can read that book and then 10 other books for the same price of $7.99. So I do get more bang for my buck. But like I said, I like to have it in my hand. It's like, I don't know, it's a little better.
A lot of things these digital apps are good for, especially with like newcomers, is you can start somewhere, but then you also have like the entire history at your
Facts.
fingertips. Like you can go,
Sure.
if you don't know something and you see something online, people talking about it, it's like, what issue is this? If they tell you, go to your app,
true.
just go get your history lesson
Wow.
real quick.
Yeah,
It's
they
fine.
have
Okay.
like communities on the apps, and like you can ask questions, and there's like forums and stuff like that. So you can create like a little group like there too,
Damn.
so which is pretty cool.
That is very
It's like
cool.
their own Reddit inside those apps.
That's sweet. So
yeah, super nice.
on Hero Talk, how do you guys like pick your topics and stuff? Do you guys just like, are you guys just coming in with like hot
Usually
off a
we have-
read or on something, or is it like
It's usually whatever news is kind of like popping off, like in
Oh, okay.
So we usually kind of go off the news, and then like that usually kind of brings it to our normal conversations when we do end up talking about random stuff.
Sure.
So it's usually like hot topics that we talk about. Like for example, in our newest episode, we talked about we both just finished the Last of Us 2 game, so we talked about that right away. We talked about that for a while.
Yeah,
How
it took a lot of
you
video.
guys need to actually talk to me about that right now, I think,
Oh,
because
so fire. Jesus Christ.
oh
Okay.
yeah,
All
no
right.
spoilers, but
Oh, man.
Still, it's. I mean, I thought I was taking up my time. I thought I was taking my time, and you were the one who was thirstiest for it.
he was very thirsty. He was every day. He's like, bro, 2 days.
yes, yes, that's true though.
Better than the first one for sure.
Different. It's
It's
hard.
different. It's
'cause
different.
Okay.
They tell the story in two different ways, but this is what I compare it to. The first one is like the OG Jurassic Park movie,
Okay.
and then the second one is like Jurassic World. So
Gotcha.
it's like they're both good, but like in their own right. They're
Sure.
both two different movies.
That's cool. Okay, like I never heard you say that, but
I
that's
like
cool.
that comparison a lot.
The first one is very linear story. You kind of just do this,
Sure.
do this, and then you're hearing the story and you're with Joel pretty much the whole time. And this time it's a lot different. You spend 3 days with Ellie, and then you spend time with the exact opposite person. So so you spend time with the protagonist for 3 days. You learn everything about her. You get her story. You feel her. I mean, from the previous game, but you get a little bit more understanding. And then right when you're about to meet the antagonist, you flip on the other side.
Wow.
And you play from day one as the antagonist, and you play day 1, day 2, day 3, and you get her side of the story. And that fucks me up.
Wow.
They really put you in a predicament when you're coming to like you're thinking about morals and like
Sure.
how you're not always right because there's always another side of the
Yes.
coin. It's like you're just like man, I was with her, but then I see this. I'm just like maybe she was right. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
It's so hard. It puts you like you're literally in between, and you don't know how. Like obviously the gamers are more partial to Ellie because you played her as the first first game.
History.
Yeah.
But if you're an open-minded person and you're not just so pissed off about the thing that they did in the beginning, I won't give any spoilers, but you'll notice this really soon. But if you're not so pissed off about that and you can just accept and just open yourself up
get
to
over
the
that,
other
what
storyline,
happened. Yeah.
it is so conflicting once you get to the end. And I literally found myself saying no, like not wanting to press the button because I'm not giving any spoilers, but it's just you're so conflicted that you don't even like. I didn't even want to complete the mission because I know both stories, and I just wanted them to just like leave it alone. Like it's over.
Just be friends.
It's not even that. Just like it's over. Like you guys have both lost so much. Just
Wow.
Yeah, this
leave it
situation's
alone.
dead. Just move on.
There's no point. So, but the fact that they can get to you like that, I was literally like, I don't know, like heartbroken. I'm like, bro,
I say this all the time. Like Last of Us 2 was a masterclass in writing. Like it gave me all the feels and made me challenge myself. Like what I thought was I would do in the situation, and it's just great. This is a great game.
The first one, I haven't played a second of the second one, but I played the whole first one, that was like
great story.
Probably one of my favorite video game experiences.
At that time, it was the most cinematic game I've ever played.
Yes.
Absolutely. Ever played.
I remember I was playing it, and my brother walked in. He's like, "Dude, this looks like a movie."
Yes,
you're right.
That's the first time I felt like I was playing a movie. That was the first time I felt like that. Like it was barely any cutscenes, and like the transitions into them were just.
Yes, you'd be walking, and then you're like still walking. You're like, "Oh wait, I'm in a cutscene."
Right,
now.
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
That was like one of the first games where I was like seriously emotionally invested.
Yes,
in my
absolutely.
characters. Yeah.
Wild.
The only other time I could say I was emotionally invested into the characters was like the Spider-Man 2 game, just because that was my boy, bro. And when they kill Uncle Ben, even like when I just watched the movie and then I played the game, I was like, bro,
This guy.
Just trauma. PTSD, Uncle Ben's rice.
Facts.
Did you guys ever play the Batman games?
Yeah. I did not.
City?
He did. He's been trying to get me to play it for years.
Fire.
Yes.
Yeah, the really cool. The last one, I loved the last one, but I absolutely hated the Riddler trophies. It took me an extra 3 weeks just to get that 100% complete because he was calling me lame for not having 100%. I was at 99. I was at 99. He's like, you ain't at 100 though. You ain't at 100 though.
I don't know what to
Every
tell
day, you ain't at 100 though. I was like,
Oh,
3 extra weeks of just doing like puzzles, and I just wanted to kill myself.
I never even tried.
Yeah, I feel bad now because I see people like complain about the Riddler puzzles online all the time, and I was like, damn, I really put my man through something. Sorry about that.
Right.
That's my bad. I didn't know they were that bad, man. I didn't know.
Left it like that. I wasn't gonna do it, but he just kept calling me out. And I was like,
Push you to be great.
I guess so.
Did you look any of them up, or was it all grind?
No, I looked them all up.
I looked them all up.
YouTube is my friend, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I know all the puzzles. So sometimes I have to look them up.
Right. Hey guys, welcome to my video. This is how to get all the Riddler puzzles.
No, it was a routine. I came home from work. I grabbed my phone. Like right next to the screen. YouTube, just boom. YouTube and game.
So what do you guys like consuming now? What's some of the more recent stuff that you guys have been getting into from like movies and comics and all that stuff. What are you excited about right now?
Oh, well, okay, so next weekend on Saturday, that's a good question. You said what's exciting you right now is because next weekend on the 22nd, it's going to be, it's called DC Fandom. It's basically like, you know how they have Comic-Con in San Diego every year and it's super big. DC decided not to do the virtual Comic-Con that they're having, that they had, and they're having their own virtual event called DC Fandom. And apparently, so this is their first time coming out and saying, this is our lineup, this is what we have for you guys, this is the future, because the last time they did it was with a different regime. The whole the whole heads of the company are completely gone and replaced.
At DC?
Yeah, well, at DC, the heads of the movie division and stuff like that, they've all been replaced for the way that they handled BVS.
Even the heads of like Warner, they
yeah,
went through
same.
a few different.
Yeah,
so
and
like we said,
DC
is owned by Warner Brothers, who's owned by AT&T.
Sure.
And AT&T came over and bought, Warner Brothers, and then so they did a bunch of changes. So everything's different right now. So this is their first like impression to the fans.
Wow.
So they're really trying to make like a good first impression.
Absolutely.
So they have they're gonna have Wonder Woman. Oh, and they're gonna have Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah. They're gonna have the first trailer for that, which is. I'm so excited.
Love that.
I was the one campaigning. Well, not I was the one, but I have been campaigning.
Right,
I was the one who did it, guys. It was me. You're welcome. Sorry. Yeah. But I have been campaigning for that since day one. I'm just so happy that they listened.
Campaigning for what?
To get Zack Snyder's Justice League. We
explain.
weren't going to get it. So, all right,
Oh.
so the theatrical cut of Justice League, I don't know if you watched it at all.
I did
Don't
not.
do it.
Don't blame you. It's trash.
Okay.
Don't blame it because
so garbage.
it's really bad. Long story short, what happened is Zack Snyder was the director.
Yeah, he directed Man of Steel. He directed BVS, and then he was gonna do Justice League. But they fired him mid-shoot,
and they used his daughter's suicide as an excuse to shoo him off the set. Yeah, it was really bogus. They did him bogus.
Yeah,
and this didn't come out till like years later, but it was real bogus. So I'm gonna shit on him.
Flame.
Yeah, it was a little. And so
we got a lot of heads of Warner listening to him.
Exactly. So that happened. Justice League came out. The director for Avengers
1 and 2.
Yeah, Avengers 1 and 2 came in and finised the job. Didn't do a good job.
That's not the Russo brothers.
No, they came in later on.
Okay.
But they're fired too, though.
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah. But he came in and did a lot of reshoots, completely shifted the tone of the film.
It was like 70% of the movie got reshot.
Yeah.
After Zack Snyder came back?
No,
after Zack Snyder. No, Zack Snyder never came back
until recent years.
Until like
this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So this
was like
happened.
2017, 2016 when all this is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they got Justice League was supposed to be like the first Avengers movies.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a two-parter.
Right. It was supposed to be the big thing that pops off for how Avengers did for Marvel.
Sure.
And the way that they butchered it got rid of all the heads. Like the way that because they butchered it, Warner and AT&T got rid of them. Was like, dude, you guys messed up too much. Yeah. These are our biggest properties, and you fumbled the bag. Yeah. That's basically what they did. They fumbled.
One of the reasons they also rushed it is because they wanted to get it out in time before the next quarter, so they could all get raises. So they just rushed the movie out just so they can get a raise.
Yes.
They just messed up a lot with that movie. It was no good.
Yeah, it became too much of a business thing and not enough of an art thing.
Yeah, exactly. So now after years and literally like years of
it's been like
fans
3
on
or
Twitter.
4 years of fans on Twitter just
literally
release the Snyder Cut.
Wow.
They had people
outside.
It
might have been from YouTube, but I've definitely seen Snyder Cut.
Yes,
I know that was a thing.
And it's been on. It was a hashtag on Twitter for years, and people just kept it going, and then to the point where we literally annoyed the hell out of AT&T.
It's basically what it is, right?
We just annoyed the hell out of them, and nobody, everyone was telling us, look, it's stupid. They're not going to listen to you. Why would they do that? But AT&T came in and they said, yeah, you guys can shoo away. Let's take it from here. And then the Rona hit. So they're like, wow, okay, cool. We don't have any properties to come out on HBO Max.
Wow.
It was basically a perfect storm.
It was a perfect storm. Of our persistence, our annoyance, and then the Rona. And then so yes, the Rona is terrible, but it benefited us in a slightly way. So
you got to take your joy we can find it.
Yeah,
you know?
right. So
we'll take what we can get.
Because of that, they reached out to Zack Snyder, and now he's going to go back and complete his cut, front to back, completely his. Everything's going to be his original photography. Yeah. They're doing some slight reshoots, but he's going to finish his vision, and it's going to be like 3.5, 4 hours long.
Really?
And most likely will be in episodic form, so it'll be like a mini movie, like like a short series, so like
Sure.
4, 5, 6 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, they got to get your subscription somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
real.
So that'll be on HBO Max coming most likely in like spring of 2021.
That is legitimate.
I'm super excited.
How do they like vet these dudes? Like Zack Snyder, before he directed, what was his first Man of Steel
Actually,
or something like that?
Christopher Nolan was the one who said, "Zack, like this is the guy. Like this is
Really?
the guy who's gonna like
it was
take it
after
over."
his Batman series. They were like trying to get him because
'Cause-
originally they wanted what is his name again? My
Chris
bad.
Nolan.
Chris Nolan to like do more superhero stuff in his movies.
Naturally.
Yeah, but like he was just like,
Nah,
nah, I'm
that ain't
good.
me.
I like my grounded Batman. You know, me
Yes.
and Christian Bale got a rapport. We're not gonna do any of that superhero flying around stuff.
Yes.
Right.
But you know who I do know? My guy Zack Snyder. Come in here, buddy.
Yes.
And so-
He's got you. All right, I'll see you later.
That's literally what happened.
I'll send
yeah.
you his email.
But yeah, he recommended Zack. Well, he kind of pushed for Zack Snyder to be
Yeah.
the one to not only be the director of Man of Steel, but to come in and like
Create the universe, essentially.
exactly.
That
like,
is
literally took
super
the words
cool.
right out of my mouth.
And
yeah.
they just did him dirty as hell, and we're like, all right, it's
Yeah.
pretty
not
much,
yours.
pretty much. Yep.
Who directed, or because I know when Christopher Nolan was doing Batman, he was like, yo, I'm not going to even pretend that I know enough about this shit.
Yeah.
Was Zack Snyder a part of The Dark Knight or any of those? Do you
I
know?
don't think so. I don't think
No.
so.
Because
No.
I know he brought someone in. I think it was the writer. He was like, I can't write a Batman movie.
Chris Terrio, maybe.
Chris Terrio might be one of the goats, bro.
Yeah.
He's
He's a writer. He's like a film writer.
He's a screenwriter. He's really,
yeah.
really good. Jesse Eisenberg said that he had the most, the most intelligent screenplay he's ever read. The fact that because he only had like I think they gave him like 12 hours to read the script before it like disappeared from his computer or whatever, because you know that's how they got to do it in Hollywood. He had to call Warner Brothers and be like, I need more time. I can't get through this. Like this is too deep. Like I need more time to read it.
That is
So,
wild.
Yeah. So the fact that like he had so many layers into a screenplay, I think that's awesome.
That
This is
legit.
kind of falling back on what we were talking about before. I also think the DC gets a bad rep, especially for like the Zack Snyder movies, is because it's a lot more intricate storytelling in a world where Marvel is very straightforward.
Yeah.
Very popcorn movie-y. You don't really have to like look for
about it.
nuances in the background. Like, oh,
Right.
he did this. The camera is placed in this position to represent this.
Right.
They're more
Right.
film-esque movies. They're more
Yeah.
they're
Sure.
film-esque. They're not just like like a Saturday night
yeah,
movie.
because
not-
Zack is
you
a
know?
very visual storyteller.
Sure. There's more
He's-
nuance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he says a lot without words, and
Yeah.
and I can, especially if you're casually watching something, like you're gonna miss a lot of what he's
Yeah.
trying to say without saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I
Yes.
only watch his movies when I'm trying to pay attention.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You
Okay.
can't just like have it on in the background. Well, I mean, you can like, especially Man of Steel, like you can, but you're gonna miss a lot of the feeling
Yeah,
and
a lot
empathy
of
of what he
you will
has.
listen a lot of emotional beats if you do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
That is wild. I honestly, being 100% honest, thought DC was like over here fucking up royally on like all their movies. I thought they were like, because in the
Sometimes.
box
It's
office, aren't they
sometimes.
more or less like not doing super well?
The only one that didn't do well is Shazam and
But Shazam.
Did you guys see
Right.
that? Was that
Shazam
good?
and Birds. I like Shazam. Shazam isn't a movie for us. It's for kids.
yeah,
It's
I'm
a
just
kid's
not a
movie.
kid anymore, and I'm just
So,
like,
but it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Critics liked it.
Yeah.
Everyone
If
liked
you
it.
got
It just
some little
didn't
runs
do
around,
well
you know?
like
Yeah.
in the box office. That's the only thing. It just didn't do well in the
but
box
it's
office.
not. I wouldn't blame them in the movie. They were whoever decided the scheduling for that movie.
Yeah,
is
was-
an idiot because they sandwiched it in
between Captain Marvel-
Marvel and Endgame.
Yeah.
Marvel's
Yeah.
two big movies coming out.
Yeah.
You put it like a week, like in between both of those
Yeah.
movies,
And,
what
like,
are you doing?
Captain Marvel was playing up until like basically Avengers was playing.
And
Sure.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
like you know, like Shazam just didn't have any chance.
didn't have a chance.
Didn't have
I
a
don't know
chance.
what they thought they were doing.
So-
there.
That's tough.
But
Yeah.
they still like they made enough money to not require but to accept a sequel.
Okay.
People liked his character enough for him to stick around, so I liked it. I mean, it's a fun rewatchable movie, but it's not the best.
I also think like the common misconception about DC's movies not making enough money is just because Marvel movies just making $1 billion
Like
like the
it's
norm.
nothing.
Like that's not the norm. This
It's
isn't normal.
wild.
Right.
Movies usually don't make $1 billion or $2 billion.
This man- Feige had like $3 billion films in a row. I think it was.
Marvel earned them like 5 or 6 mil, like in 2018 or something like
Gee,
that.
bro. That's
Not Bill. I'm sorry, $1 billion.
Bill? Yeah, that makes
That is.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
because every Marvel movie that comes out now, at this point, I've enjoyed every single Marvel movie that I've seen.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp 2 is not my favorite.
I did.
Ant-Man and the Wasp
yeah,
was
Ant-Man,
not that good.
not a fan.
And we love Ant-Man 1. It's like one of the
It's
most
fire.
rewatchable
top three
Yes.
movie, top three Marvel
movies.
movie, top
Paul
three.
Rudd is-
It's you can put it on literally any time of the
Anytime you
day,
wanna just watch something.
anywhere, and
Yes.
it hits the same
Yeah.
every time.
I don't
bro.
know what they did with Ant-Man and Wasp, but it just did not.
It didn't hit the
work.
same.
It did not work.
No.
Yeah, no.
Do you guys have a favorite movie?
Like not comic book wise, or just
No, what comic book wise,
Okay.
and not comic book wise.
I
We can
th-
definitely delve into that.
I think
a little
both.
area.
I think for both, it would have to be The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight is what got me into comics along with like The Flash. It was in that same time when I was injured, and then also it got me into like actual film, just because I started to understand like what Chris Nolan was doing with his
Sure.
direction and stuff like
Definitely.
that. So I would say that's probably my favorite film of all time, and Heath Ledger's Joker is obviously, it's without words. It's
Yes.
so great.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there's
Those
that.
movies are
R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
to Heath Ledger.
True.
R.I.P. Yep.
He knows this very well. I break my comic book movies into so many different categories because some of them are so different that I can't like put them together. Like for example, Logan, I cannot rank Logan next to like Ant-Man. You know,
Yes.
it's two very different
They
movies.
really are.
And I have to put it in a separate category because that's not fair to those movies, even though they're great movies. Logan's on a different level. Logan is on a
Could
different
not agree
level.
more. That movie
Yeah.
blew
I'm-
my mind.
Yeah, I'm throwing
actually.
Logan over there with the Nolan trilogy, you know?
Facts.
Dark
Yeah.
Knight trilogy.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fire.
So if you had to like pick a general one, I think at this moment, what would you say is your? What are you more partial to right now?
Okay, so probably I used to really love Winter Soldier, but like you watching it now, it's kind of tough because of the jump cuts. Like
Yeah.
I've been spoiled by all these shows that give you one takes.
Yeah.
Like,
Daredevil?
you see them fighting, like that's them
Yeah.
fighting. And in like the highway scene in Winter Soldier, like it was dope at its time, but like with all the cuts and jumping around, it was like that's not Chris Evans.
yeah.
That's not him. I know this now. I'm smarter. I'm older. I'm wiser. Like that's not him. That's not him. You're not fooling me
You can't
anymore.
trick me.
okay?
Yeah.
So, but still, it's probably still up there. I would probably go Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Avengers, Endgame will be my top three for like MCU movies. Top three DC movies, probably Man of Steel. Man of Steel, Dark Knight. Man of Steel, Dark Knight. Shit, damn, I don't know. Maybe BVS. Just throw that in there. Yeah.
BBS.
BVS. Sorry,
Batman versus Superman.
Sorry.
Gotcha. Batman. Who directed that?
Zack Snyder.
Zack
Yeah.
Snyder.
The
There
goat.
he is. There he is again. The go. Yeah.
Yo, it's our boy. 300. Yeah.
Yeah, 300. That was a good movie. And then he's coming out with the. Oh, speaking of Zack
He
Snyder,
did. He did 300.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
it's like a
Yes.
comic
Dude,
book movie the
yes,
way he
okay.
made it, like
Yes.
the slow
Look,
motion.
dude.
That
like-
was the first time I see this.
that was-
I was like,
Bruh,
That movie changed the game
Crazy.
for me too, because
Yeah.
I'm like a little kid, like, dude, this is just like
Yes.
how they're like running and it's
Mhm.
the anim. It was it
Yeah,
was next
That was
level.
pretty dope.
So for the people listening at home, if they are looking, like I said, if it's pick a superhero and then go all in on them, and just look online if you're trying to start reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it.
Usually, that's how
yeah.
I do it. Yeah, that's how I started, and I think it's a good method. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any one of the comic book apps, they have sections. Like we said, graphic novels are real good. Just pick one and see if you like it. Try to find a writer that you really like. Also, like
True.
try to pay attention to what writer you're reading, so you can find more of their stuff. You can just
Sure.
search their name. And look up
Usually,
more
the
of their stories.
good the good writers have more than just one good story. So
Mhm.
follow them around. Jeff Johns has a lot of good Green Lantern stories. Tom King's Batman right now is pretty good. Who else?
Jason Aaron has a really good Thor run. I'm really blanking. Who was that Spider-Man?
Yeah, I would say just like find a
Never mind.
character you like, and then just look. I suggest looking at the graphic novels because that's usually their best storylines.
Okay.
But once you get through some of the graphic novels, I highly suggest you start reading just some issues because issues really give you like who the character is, not just like, kind of like a general. This is that. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Like one book will just give you one version of the
Sure.
character, one person's point of view. But if you keep on reading different issues and different authors, it'll give you really who the character is and not just whose author's version of the character is. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
yes, absolutely. Do you guys think that this is like like, are there a lot of people like me who are like somewhat in like
Yeah.
Who
like
like the
watching the
concept,
movies
yeah.
and then they learn you
That's how
guys
these movies
actually
make $1
do
billion.
it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's how these movies make $1 billion.
Yes.
You guys make it happen.
Sure.
A
And
casual fan, right?
Yeah.
so, is the comic book world, are they like all about that, or is that kind of like, hey, this is our
A
thing?
little bit of both. Not gonna
Okay.
lie to you.
James is notorious for disliking the casual fan.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I am.
The biggest
They
reason
just say
for
wild
that,
stuff, and I'm just like, but that's not true.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because they're just they're just naive, so they just don't they don't
They don't know
and
that
they
they
go
don't
off
know, yeah.
they go off
Sure.
of what the movies say, and sometimes it's like so annoying because like where I'm trying to tell you obviously not according to, but like I watched in the movies. I'm like, so the movies are law? No, that does not make sense. Like
Right.
history isn't like exactly how the movies were. Like
Sure.
what's that movie Gods of Egypt? Like that movie was not historically
Yes,
accurate whatsoever.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like so. It just bothers us sometimes when we know the truth, and then these people are trying to tell us what they think is the truth. I'm like, no.
Yes. Well, there's nothing more that I appreciate than you coming here and spitting the truth to us casual fans.
No problem.
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much for coming on Who Knows.
Sure. Thanks for having
This
us.
is
Yeah.
Kevin and James of Hero Talk. Can you guys please plug all of your socials and Hero Talk and all that
Yes.
stuff? Give your little spiel on that.
All right, you can follow me at KD Hero Talk, and then just search us up on YouTube at Hero Talk, Hero Space Talk, and then you'll find us. One of our favorite videos is the Flashpoint video. Check that one out. It's really, really good. So let us know.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at JamesDriver93. I'm on Twitter at King_James9310. So it's really random, I know, but
Oh, and then we do have an IG too. Our Hero Talk IG is _Hero Talk. So
Love that. Thank you guys so much for coming. This has been an absolute blast.
no problem.
absolutely, thanks
All
for
right.
having us, man.
See you guys.
All right.